Hey guys, so I'm back after a long time. I haven't been recording any videos for quite some weeks anyway, so this video will be super quick. And this is regarding my experience with my purchase of Fujifilm X100F. X100F has a extra T sensor. I have had XE3s with, like, I had two XE3s with the extra 3 sensor, but I eventually sold them. I loved them when I bought them, but then I was like, I was done, and I replaced those two XE3s with XE2s. Why? That's a topic for another day. Right now it's X100F, and I'm very serious about this camera. So not this one, this is my second X100F, but I recently bought one for a good price. It was in pristine condition, and it only had roughly 7,000 shutter counts. Um, that's not much for X100F. Um, I was hoping for that camera to be my, like, everyday carry, even though I don't go out every day. But I was expecting a lot of things from that bargain, you know. So the camera came, it got delivered. I Now this time I made a mistake. I didn't go physically to check the camera, but I called the person, and I spoke to his wife as well. They were really nice people, and maybe they didn't know that the camera they sent to me had this issue. So what was the issue? The issue is very common in X100F specifically. Yes, you would say in the previous generation of X100 series cameras, there that issue will be present. Um, that's true, but not up to this extent where the X100F is having those issues. So the issue is with the EVF. So as you know that these cameras have a curtain inside the glass, and when you are using the EVF functionality, the curtain comes up, and even after taking a photo, the curtain comes up and it displays your photo. So when you're keeping the camera like this, you would see what I'm talking about. Oh, well, okay, there you go. Yeah, okay, now you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Now the problem was that this got stuck, and I was like, this is very unusual for these cameras. But it happened. The EVF got stuck, and I was stuck as well because I asked the seller that if he knew about this issue before selling it to me, and he said no, he never had this issue. I'm not sure if he really knew or he was just lying. I don't know. But I started to look on the web, and I found that many X100F owners had the same issue. It's called EVF curtain stuck. And now, as per my research, what I found is this that this issue is related to um, you're leaving the camera for a long time without a battery or with a dead battery. So, as you know, that all these cameras have a little button, like a button sized battery inside it. That battery needs to be charged, and it gets the power from the external battery. So maybe that person maybe the seller left the camera for a long time without the battery inside or with a dead battery, and eventually the battery inside this, like the button cell inside this one, um, it died. And once it's dead, it affects the EVF curtain issue. It affects the EVF curtain, as well as when you take the external battery out, and because the internal battery is dead, the camera um, cannot save its settings. So every time you're taking the battery out to charge the battery, the camera would, and you insert the charged battery, the camera would just reset itself. Because in order for the camera to remember all the information, the internal cell has to be charged. So that's what my discovery was. Now there was a tutorial to open that camera up and try to sort out this issue. Um, but I did some more digging into it, and I found out that it needed proper tools. Yes, the tools were available and very cheap. And there is a very good tutorial as well, just to open the camera and fixing like a cable inside it, which is like a first try to solve the issue. And if the issue still persists, then you have to get the internal battery replaced. Most of the local camera repair shops didn't know about this, and because these cameras are because when they see these cameras, they think that these cameras are very, very, very complex. They're not like DSLRs or the old manual film cameras. So it's more work, and sometimes they they just don't use their brain. They just want to replace the whole thing, the whole part, not just this. Like if I'm going somewhere and I'm explaining, hey, this is not working, so he would not that repairman wouldn't look for the answers on the internet. He would just test it with the tools and would say, all right, so this whole assembly is broken and it needs to be replaced. So that also increased the cost of the repair, um, and the labor cost also goes up. So I took that camera to a repair shop, and he took it for a week or two, and then he refused to fix it. And he said if I would fix it, it would cost a lot of money. So anyway, I eventually sold that camera. But keep in mind that when you're buying an X100F or you already have one, this camera will eventually, if you're unlucky, will develop this EVF curtain issue. And that issue um, has two solutions. First, you open the camera and there's a cable inside. You can just, sometimes the cable snaps, like not a snap, it just comes off um, the point. So you just have to press it back inside and see if it fixes the issue. And if it still doesn't fix the issue, then it means that the internal battery has died. Um, so put it this way, that if you take out the battery and insert it back inside and the camera doesn't reset, it means the internal battery is fine. So you just have to open the camera and press that cable down a bit and it will start working. And this is as per my research on the internet. But however, the second issue is with the battery itself. Like you take the battery out, external battery out, and you insert it back in. And if the camera resets, it means that internal cell has died. Now you have to replace that cell. It's not a rocket science if you have opened electronics in the past. But if you are completely naive or don't know anything about the tools and stuff, so it's probably a good idea to send it back to the repair shop, because Fujifilm Australia will not accept X100F for repair. They didn't even bother to reply my email. It's been 3 months already. They haven't bothered. Um, yeah, so this is my second purchase. This is even better bargain than the silver X100F I had. By the way, X100F, I sold it for the same money I bought. I asked the seller to give me a discount or something, but he didn't bother replying back. Um, so I got myself another X100F. But again, like I'm a huge fan of Fujifilm cameras. You know that I have plenty of Fujifilm cameras laying around. Um, but I'm a little bit doubtful on this one. But it's very cheap anyway. So even if it starts to, it's not like that that issue will stop you from taking photos. Okay, you can still take photos. You can use the back screen, to take photos. It's just that when you put your eye into this glass, you see you have like a double vision. You get an overlay because the shutter curtain inside has to come up, and if it doesn't, you get like, I don't know how to say it, but it's like a double layer of the same image. Camera takes photos still. You can use the screen still, or you can put a sticky tape here, like a black color sticky tape, and it will be fine. But of course, you will lose the OVF, like a hybrid OVF functionality. Um, But to be honest, I have not used this OVF feature that often. It's yeah, I haven't, and I have nearly 6 X100 series cameras at the moment. Um, I sold my X100S, and anyway, so let's finish the video. And when you're buying the X100F, just keep in mind that you gotta check it properly and use it. You don't like it, sell it immediately. All the best.